The more you use it, the more you try to get into it, the more you have it as a designer. Like I said, there's nothing that makes you better than practice, practice, and practice. The more you do again is more you get it right. All right, folks, let's dive into this section. Today's section is typography and color theory. And again, don't these trainings are not as comprehensive as normal graphics class, but I'm giving you the essentials. So like you're not missing out basically. But again, you still have to deep dive. You still have to deep dive. There's more to it. Don't think you have all the best. Don't think this is all about graphics. No. There's more to it. So but because of our short time, we have distilled the class to the basic essentials. Like this is what every beginner designer should know. Talking about typography and master use of fonts. First, look at these 3 designs that I'm going to be showing you today. The first of them is save the date. We have the bride, we have the groom, we have their names, we have the event date, we have the venue of the event, and you have their pictures on the frame. Looking sharp, looking nice. This is from Pinterest, and it's looking good, right? I told you to create a Pinterest profile. If you're on Pinterest, you should be able to see. If you search wedding stuff, you see something like this. Apart from that, there's another wedding design here in the middle. That is another one there. And you can see these are the 3 of them are basically wedding design. But look at it, the font varies from one to the other one as well. All the 3 designs are uniquely designed. They are unique design, and you can see their font varies. The way they organize, the structure of the design varies. The color scheme similar, but also what varies, right? You can see that there's a theme. What I'm trying to emphasize here is that there's a design theme. Now, one of the design theme that is here is that you can see that now. Oh, thank you very much. Talking about design elements, guys. We have a font here. There's a font going on here. You can see this background. There's a texture in the background here, right? We have font. We have a font here. We have some color discrepancy from one corner to another. There are some corners that are white. There are some corners that are kind of shaded with some colors and the likes. You can see some texture going on in the background. There's something like a blur background, and you can see something like I don't know if you can see the white. There are some white blend in this background. They're more like there's a curtain in the background below here. There's a curtain in the background below here. You know that there are shades. You can see the white line going through. Something like the texture is going on in the background. It gives the design a kind of feel. So these are design elements there that are being applied. Colors are there. Text is there. We have what again? We have definitely their symbol. There's a symbol involved. There are shapes in this design as well. So this is a design. This is marriage design. You can see the kind of font. You can see the overall theme of this design. I'll take you to another place again. This is a children anniversary, children engagement kind of flyer. Note, the target audience for these designs are not the children themselves. Maybe these are their parents, these are their uncles, these are their aunties who are going to see this and then try to celebrate the children, basically. From the first flyer to the second flyer and the third one on the list, you can see that the theme, there's a theme here, guys. From the playful font that is being applied in this design, because these are kids' design. The playful fonts, the playful colors, a lot of colors are bouncing around, dancing around, you know. Definitely the imagery as well plays a very big role, also trying to communicate the concept of what's being discussed on the flyer itself. The font, the color, the style of design, the arrangement, right? Also the composition, also what shows that these are children design. What I'm trying to emphasize here is that look at these 3 designs. What you are seeing here, there's a theme. There is a theme, right? The font, there is a kind of ambience. It shows that these are children design, right? And then we have the third one on the list, which is like the final one I'm going to be showing you today, which is again, this is sports. This is sports design. And you can see that this also has a style. This has a feel. The kind of font that is being used on children design is not used here, guys. And the kind of font that are used on marriage design is not used on sports design. Do you understand? There are some style, every design requires a kind of style. They have a style. That's what I'm trying to tell you here. Look at the font, look at the colors. That's what I'm trying to emphasize. look at the overall theme of the design. For the sports design, you can see the kind of colors, you can see the sharp edges, you can see the kind of typography, you can see the kind of blending, right? The composition, placing the text into the human interaction with the text, and blending things together here. You can see the sharp edges also showing here in the game downward, the angle, right? The angle. So this is also what? A flyer in sports, guys. This is another thing. Look at this design, digest it a little bit, take it in. So we have this here. What I'm trying to emphasize here is the concept of typography. What is typography? Typography is the art of arrangement of type to make written language legible. Number one, legible, readable, and visually what? Appealing. Number one is what? Legible. Number two is readable. The last one is what? Visually appealing. Now, we had a question from our last interaction. One of the students on the call, she mentioned something about whenever she just makes a design, she likes using all this kind of curly fonts. And I just told her every design has a theme, right? If I'm designing some kind of design, you won't want to use block form text. You won't want to use the kind of font that we have on this kind of presentation. Imagine I'm presenting to you today and I go ahead to make what is typography, a kind of curly font. For some people, they might feel like, oh, it's scribbly, it's looking nice. Look at that kind of squirreling. Nonsense. It is not appropriate for this kind of design, because I just want you to see it's a presentation slide. People have a limited time to glance at the design and move to the next one. It's not for you to desire and admire. It's for you to look at it, get your information, and move on, right? So typography definitely is going to be used consciously and conscientiously, right? That you are so attentive to the kind of audience you are trying to communicate your design to, right? You are trying to make sure that whatever you are even using, if you even use the curly text and the kind of different fonts, it has to be what? Legible. It needs to be readable. Not that you now do your flyer, you design a banner for a church. You still have to sit down, whenever they print the banner and paste at a particular junction, you have to be in that junction, in the background, explaining to people that are going there, this here is, what I wrote here is church, what I wrote here is Bible. No, we don't need you there, right? People should be able to digest the design without you. Not that we have to call you every now and then. What did you write here, sir? So you have to be legible first. The second one is what? Readable. Readable means, apart from being legible, that is big enough, it's large. If you are doing a large design print, it should be big. The ratio of the text should also what? Big. For example, look at what we are seeing on your screen. When I have what is typography, I'm not using the same text size as the explanation of what is typography is all about. And you can see from the contrast of what is typography and typography is the art of arranging, from the difference between the two texts, it kind of creates a visually appealing, organized design composition, right? So readability is also very important. Readability is not talking about legible size. Readability is talking about the contrast between one set of text and the other one, talking about hierarchy here. And then visually appealing. Visually appealing is what's trying to put something together that people can move their face from the beginning to the end. Look at what I have here now. From the get-go on this slide, the first thing you are going to see is what? What is typography? After that, then you might notice good typography enhance communication and improve user experience in design because of the color. And then maybe you now notice typography is the art of arrangement, or you even notice that first before going to the down part, because again, depending on the scale and the color contrast, people get to notice different aspects of the design. But you can see I'm guiding your face here. I'm guiding what you see here from the design arrangement. So there are different types of fonts, guys. We have serif fonts, we have sans serif fonts, we have script fonts, we have display fonts. I'm just mentioning a few, guys. There are more, right? But when you distill those more down to basic, this is what you get, because there are other funny looking fonts. But when you look at their core of what they are made up of, they either fall into a serif font, or they fall into a sans serif font, or they fall into a script font, or they fall into a display font.